or it ends in COOH. COOH. Now, do you see how this hydrogen is red and how this hydrogen is red? Those are what we call the acidic hydrogens. Okay? So, even though up till this point you have been writing HCl correctly as hydrogen monochloride, once we learn how to do acids, you're not going to write it as hydrogen monochloride anymore. You're going to write it as hydrochloric acid. Okay? So you have this table in your booklet. When you write the quiz, do not use this list. Okay? If you use the list, you'll find that on the test you don't have that list, and then you won't know what to do. So do not use this list on the quizzes. It's there for your reference if you get stuck, okay? Maybe I shouldn't have put it in the package, but there it was, okay? So that's it for that one, and then there's just a whole ton of acids here. You can see all of them start with H, except for a few which end in COOH. Okay? So, if you want to, you can have Tyler teach you about acids. So if you go home and you're like, oh darn, I didn't really understand what Ms. Spence was talking about, Tyler will teach you. Yes? Oh, you're just stretching. Okay. So first of all, we have begins with H, ends in COOH. What you are going to do is you are going to look up the name of the anion. Okay, so we have a Br or an SO4 or a CO3. We're going to look up that name. Okay, if we have an ide ending on our ion, like bromide, okay, bromide, Br minus, we write hydro, and then we put whatever goes in there, brom for bromide, bromic acid. And how can you remember that? You can say, and this may or may not be helpful to you, my ide, so the ide ion has hydroic, hydroic. It's spelled wrong, but yes, you know, we're trying to make it work here. Some of them work a little better than others, because if we have an 8 ion, like sulfate, SO4 minus, then we don't write the hydro, we just write the ick. Okay, and that one's nice to remember because you can think, I ate something icky. Ate ick. There's no hydro in there. And finally, we have ite. So let's say we had H2 PO3, which is the phosphite ion, PO3, 3 minus. If we have ite, instead of an ic acid, we have an us acid. So my Sprite is delicious. Okay? Yeah, everything is icky except for Sprite. Okay? And if there's only like 2 elements, you need to put the hydro on the beginning. Okay? So let's take a look at some examples of each of these. We have HBr. The Br is Br minus, which is bromide. So our stem is the brom. And so we put the brom in the middle. And we have hydrobromic acid. If we have chloride, remember we're going to have that hydroic And we'll use that stem, chlor, to go in the middle. Hydrochloric acid, HCl. HCN, cyanide, is hydrocyanic acid. Fluoride, hydrofluoric acid. Iodide, hydroiodic acid. There's two acids that are strange in their naming. Two strange ones. Sulfur is sulfide, but we don't just name the acid hydrosulfic acid. It is always going to be sulfuric acid. Sulfuric with a UR. And phosphide, wouldn't it be nice if it was phosphoric acid? But it's not, it's phosphoric acid. And that applies to all the different forms, whether we've got a hydroic, we could have hydrophosphoric acid, we could have phosphoric acid, we could have phosphorus acid. It needs that extra or, okay? So here's a bunch of 8 ones, just so you can recognize them. I ate something icky, so in this case we don't use the hydro. We look and we say, what's our anion? I've got CO3, that is carbonate. We're going to take away the 8 and instead we'll put ic. Chlorate, we'll take away the 8 and we'll replace it with ic, so it's chloric. Nitrate becomes nitric acid. Chromate becomes chromic acid. And you can read through the rest of this on your own. I just wanted to get that in there before you head home. Okay? If you're not caught up to quiz number 7, can you please come in tomorrow during flex? They don't matter. No. They're bonding covalently. Plus the other thing is, because I'm having you just practice a lot of the prefixes, some of the compounds are actually impossible. Yeah. There you go.